Hello friends, this is Ramna. Today I will show demo on how to load data from source document when your target table has check constraints and identity. Okay, so first I will show my target table. This is my target table MP underscore DEST. Right now there are no records here. So here I am using to check the schema and structure of the table. So how to check by using sp underscore help. So if you execute this one, so you can see the schema and structure of the table. This table contains 6 columns and you can see here identity property on ID column. So which seed 101 and increment by 1. That means first record ID is 1 and increment by for every insertion it will increment it by 1. Okay, and also you can see in the check constraint. So there is a check constraint on salary column. So what is the condition? Salary should be greater than or equal to 25,000. That means this table contains identity property and also check constraint in the target table. I will show how what is the source document. Okay, so this is my source document, text document. So here we have same number of columns, 6 columns and 3 rows. So if you see the data here, so here it is starting from 1 to 3. So but here in the destination table, it is showing as first ID is 101, identity property with 101 and increment by 1. See 101 seed increment by 1. But in the source document it is showing 1 2 3. At the same time, if you check the salary here, salary for first 2 records there is no issue. The salary is greater than 25,000. But when we see the third record, this salary contains 24,000, which is against the check constraint. Okay. In this scenario, how to load this data into SQL table? So I will take SSIS package. This is new package. So as usual, I am taking first data flow task. Double click here. So since my source document is text document, I am using flat file source. So double click, go to new and browse the location. So my text document is on desktop. I am selecting EMP text. Okay. So if you see the columns, 6 columns and 3 rows are there. And go to advanced. Now everything fine. So go to columns, 6 columns. So configuration is done. Now I want to load those 3 rows into destination table. So my destination table is OLDB destination. So if you right click here, select your database. So my database is healthcare. I am selecting healthcare database. Okay, I am using tabular view and here I am selecting my table emp underscore dest and views existing and go to mapping. No need to do any manual mapping. Okay, directly go here. So even though we did the configuration, but it is throwing some error. So what is this error? Failure inserting into read-only column ID. Okay, that means in the destination table it is showing starting from 101, but in the source document the IDs belongs to from first ID of number 1 onwards. Okay, 1 2 3. But whereas in destination table it is showing 101. So this is the error. So in this scenario, so before running the package itself it is showing error. Now I am double click on the OLDB destination. So here I am changing my table or view option to table or view fast load. So what happens if you select this view? In the down you can see 4 properties. In tabular view you can't see anything, just you select the table name. But I am selecting one more option, tabular view fast load. So you can see 4 checkboxes are there. Okay. Now here you can see I will keep this identity. So right now it is unchecked. I'm checking this keep identity. Okay. Now even though it is showing data length error, it is a warning message. It's not error actually. Okay. If I run this package, once again make sure we don't have any data in the table. Go to control flow, right click, execute task. See, package gets failed. So where it is failed? So it is failed in the destination, OLDB destination. So if we see the messages, error message. So it is occurred OLD table available. It is showing some destination error. Okay. So we already know in the destination table identity property is there, at the same time check constraint is also there. So there is a check constraint on the salary column. Salary should greater than or equal to 25,000. So we know that in the source table one record is having 24,000, which is against to the check constraint. So in this scenario, so I'm go to the SSIS package. So here go to data flow, double click on the destination. So by default check constraint is enabled here. Now I want to remove this check constraint. Okay, I want to remove this check constraint and just click on OK. Okay, save the package one more time. Go to control flow, right click, just execute the task. Yeah. Now package got success. Okay. Go to check your table. Now you can see the data is getting inserted. Same data, what is there in the source document. But you can see it override the identity property value. Okay. So even though your table consists identity property starting with 101, but it is after making the changes in the data flow task, enable the identity column in the OLDB destination. So we will make this by default it is showing unchecked. Now I will do this check keep identity, and this one for check constraint by default it is checked. Now unchecked this. So by doing these two changes, so we can get loaded the data from source document to destination table. So generally in this scenario, so they won't directly insert into the dim tables or final tables. First they will insert the records in the staging table, and then they will move to master table. So here just for knowing purpose, what makes the to stop the source document load when your destination table as identity property and check constraints. So how to overcome this? So by just selecting the option tabular view fast load. If you select the tabular view, you won't see these options. If you select the tabular view fast load, oh, then only you can see these options. Uncheck the check constraints and check the keep identity column so that your data will be loaded into the destination table. And one more thing, this fast load option we can use only when huge number of records in the source document are there. you want to load it fastly, then we can select this option to load into the test table. But in this scenario, until or unless you select this option, you won't see these properties. And if you don't make any changes for these properties, that is the reason it's selecting the password option first and check the keep identity property and uncheck the check constraint to load the data. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you very much.